Today's hearing addresses a long-growing cancer that resides in the hearts of American academic institutions. Unfortunately, it is spread through our foundational institutions in the whole of Western liberal society. It's called diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI for short. Most Americans over the last 2 or 3 years have heard the term DEI, but may not know exactly what it is. There's no better way to describe it than to quote from one of DEI's most famous proponents, Ibram X. Kendi, and I quote, "The remedy of racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. The only remedy for past discrimination is present discrimination. The only remedy for present discrimination is future discrimination." I can summarize this definition in 2 words, demeaning and racist. Demeaning due to the total lack of intellectual or moral common sense, racist because anyone who accepts this irrational mindset is guaranteed to become a bigot. There are only 2 areas of measurement in which I believe DEI can be considered roundly successful. It is an industry that has created multimillionaires from previously unknown and non-peer respected authors. It is also an industry that has successfully steered hundreds of thousands of our youth away from the visions of our founding fathers. That vision was one of becoming a more perfect union, one in which the citizenry improves with each generation to judge each other based on our content of character, not by race, creed, or color. The Marxist-centered DEI, on the other hand, has a jaded view of America and Americans. It views our nation as a pyramid composed of race oppressors and race oppressed. It attributes all of America's societal ills and flaws to the white Judeo-Christian male. To remedy all past perceived racism and injustice perpetrated by this sect of Americans, DEI prescribes a healthy injection of black racism and black injustice. DEI bureaucrats are hired not only to control conversations, but also to stifle free speech and open discourse by asserting leverage on every aspect of university management, personnel, curriculum, policy, and college admissions. It proceeds to attack the foundational pillars of academic freedom. DEI is not an abstract concept. It is instead practical applications used in almost every college campus throughout our country, both public and private. It is seen as universities use race as a plus factor in admissions. Instead of intellectual competition and meritocracy, it is skin color that is deemed the winner or loser, pitting races against each other. The impact of DEI is seen in indoctrination of students as they undergo mandatory racial bias education. Based on their race, each student is deemed an irredeemable oppressor or a member of the hapless, hopeless, and weak oppressed. To my Jewish friends, if you wonder about the surprising outgrowth of anti-Semitism now raging on our college campuses, this is the genesis. DEI teaches that at the very top of the oppressor pyramid is the Jewish race. There's no empathy in the DEI space once identified as an oppressor, only disdain. At the core of DEI is also the soft bigotry of low expectation. It teaches black Americans as members of the oppressed race we're weak and incapable of standing and succeeding independently, that we must wait for the success wand to be waved over us by white Americans. Or even better, we should wait for the promise of slavery reparation. DEI purports that black Americans like myself who can muster the tenacity and grit to succeed are the exception, not the rule. Once again, DEI is both demeaning and racist. DEI is also heartless and unforgiving. Scholars who dare to publish research that challenges the liberal orthodoxy are often canceled or pushed out of the academic profession. For professors who love teaching and seek to earn a tenure, they are forced to take a loyalty oath in which they either promise to adhere to the principles of DEI or find another profession. The DEI movement is at its core divisive. It judges others based on our immutable characteristics like color, race, and past industry, which we have no control of. Instead of becoming a more perfect union, it turns our schools, communities, cities into cesspools of divisiveness, hate, and intolerance. I look forward to the discussion on DEI today, from its Marxist roots to the modern-day DEI industry that siphons millions of dollars from education and workforce budgets. For those who want to know how much it costs us across the country, I have just a few examples here. According to College Fix, University of Michigan, $30 million a year. Texas A&M University, $11 million. Ohio State University, $20 million. University of Wisconsin, $16 million. And what is the result? More hatred, more anger, and more racism. So I'm looking forward to addressing this. And I want to thank everybody again for joining us. And I want to yield now to the ranking member for her opening statements.